It's Wednesday. You know what that means.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
You fucking mark.
Listen, I get it. Calm down, bro.
Oh, what is up, everybody? Welcome here live on a Wednesday night here on the Sports Jedi Network. I am your host, PGH Chris TV, and tonight we talk about another boring AEW Dynamite with just matches. Another go-home show that doesn't feel a go-home show. And we're going to have another follow-up show next week that does not feel like a follow-up after Forbidden Door this Sunday night. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about here on this Wednesday night. Not a lot in terms of a lot has happened, but there is a couple things here that does not make sense. And before we get into that, before me and my other half, the Dynamite Bros here, talk about some Dynamite, want to talk to you guys about our sponsors. Always, Dude Wipes. Stay fresh, stay ready. Use your promo code TEXTDUDE to save 20 to 59463, and we will, of course, always send you that promo code for 20% off of Dude Wipes with the summer coming up, as well as Blackout Coffee for your morning hydration. Make sure you go to Blackout Coffee, use code RUMBLE or Sports Jedi to save 20% off, and make sure you go hit G Fuel Energy, my affiliate. You guys can use your promo code PGHChris for 20% off, and maybe we will hear from them later on in the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is boring, and I'm not alone to talk about it. I got my guy Hoss Knucklebrew, my other half of the Dynamite Bros here on the Sports Jedi Network. Hoss, how are we doing on this Wednesday night?
It's fine. It's fine.
That's all it ever will be.
It's fine.
Oh, thank God
Yeah.
I didn't see that fucking clown on the show tonight.
But we had Pocket say it, so a clown had to say it.
Another clown we didn't see on the show tonight.
Another fine, bland wrestling show. Again, we can never say AEW doesn't deliver on the graps. The graps are always all elite, but the TV show leaves a lot to be desired. That's all I got to say, and that's pretty much it.
No question, brother. No question. Let's get into this atrocious card. Now, before I get into this card, this show tonight, when I first saw this card being announced, I just I knew this. I knew then and there that this was going to be the type of night I was going to have, where it has nothing to do with Forbidden Door. Not one single match that was advertised that we had tonight had anything leading up to Forbidden Door. It was match after match after match. Every time somebody would walk up, they would make the entrances while the competitors are walking off the stage. They wouldn't even go to a commercial break or nothing. They would just go straight into the next match. Like they had very, very limited TV time. And yet they had a 10-15-minute fucking overrun. I don't understand this show. I don't understand this show. I wanted to start off with that, but let's start up with the first match here. Hoss, they opened up with Brodito, Brody King, and Mystico taking on Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio. Now, obviously, we know we have Mystico versus Moxley at the Forbidden Door for the Continental Championship. Bandito, excuse me. Holy hell. Bandito. See, wow. Dude, AEW has my mind all messed up, man. We got Bandito versus Moxley at the Forbidden Door for the Continental Championship. We will get in now. Quick note: tomorrow afternoon, myself, Hoss, and our good friend from the Squared Circle podcast. Marie Shadows will be joining us for our Forbidden Door preview. We're going to go into depth. It's going to be a longer, not a longer stream per se, like a long stream, but we're not. It's not going to be a Wednesday night late. We're going to do it in the afternoon tomorrow. We're going to take our time. We're going to really preview the card. Normally, me and Hoss would do this on a Wednesday, but we have other plans this Forbidden Door, or this month, I should say. So it's going to be a fun one, but I understand, okay, you have I almost said Mystico again. Bandito and Moxley at the Forbidden Door. I understand if you want to have a tag team or 6-man, whatever. The match didn't do anything for me. There was nothing to where, in my opinion, that this furthered my interests or any story going into Forbidden Door between Bandito and Moxley. It was just a 6-man tag team match that the Death Riders normally start off on a Wednesday night. Hoss, what did this do for you? Did this make sense? Does this make you want to watch the match even more or less? Talk to me, man. What did you think about this opening contest?
Everything that happened in this match could have just been a promo, but the fact is Bandito doesn't speak English as his first language, so the promo off wouldn't be that great. Moxley is not the greatest promo either, but he can speak. But he probably would have bored us to tears trying to sound like a Jedi Master Yoda for some reason. He wants to give us philosophy vibe for some damn reason. So, again, decent match. You had competitors that people like to see, but the angle is, can Bandito beat Moxley? And no one on this earth believes Bandito's going to beat Moxley on Sunday.
Not a damn person.
That's I know we got a prediction show tomorrow.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to give you that for free. No one here, no AEW sicko believes Bandito is going to beat Moxley Hogan. Yeah, I said it. I said Moxley Hogan. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, there's no way in hell. I mean, look, I give Moxley a lot of props for his role in AEW since joining, especially during that whole CM Punk era and that whole even last year. But yeah, no way. This title, this Continental Championship, it's all going to be for Moxley. They're going to do the Continental Classic later on this year after the summer is over, during the football season probably. They'll do the Continental Classic. So Moxley's definitely going to be the champion going in to that Continental Classic. I still think it's stupid that the fucking champion is in the tournament, but I digress.
Why is this belt being defended at all? Like, it only matters at the end of the year. Why is it defended the rest of the year?
They try to make it mean something, and it's like they never fucking switch the title. You notice how the champion of the continent, Okada, was the Continental, or Eddie. Let's start off with Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston was the Continental champion. He held it during the Continental Classic the year after, lost it to Okada. Vice versa with Moxley. He didn't win it during the Continental Classic, but my point is, they're going to. They have these long title reigns on whoever they have it on, and then they're going to compete in the Continental Classic, and we know they're going to be in the finals. So I like the Continental Classic, but I hate it. We'll talk more about that when that time comes.
But it's the lowest of the mid-tier titles. And I never thought it'd be lower than the national championship, but it is. It is.
What does that title even mean? It's not like the national title, even though I think it's complete utter bullshit. It has a fucking meaning. Why? Because you can defend it nationally, even though they don't do it. But you can. What are you going to defend it in the North American continent? Is that what that is, Hoss?
How you know they don't defend it, Chris? How you know? We don't know the booking. We never. How you know?
I never see it. And if we do, it's Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Mark Davis in a fucking golf course.
They might be at Rev Pro or Creative Pro Wrestling, whatever indie production.
Streaming now on my AEW. There you go. There's no excuse not to watch all these companies, chat. Not a single excuse. Aye. We'll talk more about Moxley and Bandito tomorrow in our preview of Forbidden Door. But let's move on to the second match. Hoss, I'm fucking shocked because not only did we have 2 women matches on this card, we had a women's match as the second match of the night. We had Marina Shafir, who was already out there during the 6-man tag team match. So she stood out there, which this was a routine throughout the night, which pissed me off. I fucking hate when they do this. And I'm gonna go off about it here in a second. But they had Marina Shafir versus Harley Cameron. Hoss, Marina Shafir versus Harley Cameron's the match that we're getting.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Wrong
Oh
one.
my God, who the hell cares?
But,
That's the one I wanted.
But Chris, this match actually mattered. Of all the matches we had tonight, this is one of the only matches that actually mattered.
Explain to me.
I mean, this is for the survival of the fittest that goes down next week. I mean, it had some stakes. It meant something. I mean, neither one of these women may not win. I hope Harley does have a chance of winning, but it meant something. It meant something.
It did. I mean, the match was okay. Marina Shafir had a couple of her judo throws across. Harley Cameron looked good. They're not going to put the TBS title back on her. I know you want. I know you want her to, and I think they should. To me, I mean, again, we got to think Tony Khan logic, but to me, it's like you haven't had that title on TV for a month. Give it to somebody that could give it some value. Like, I still don't understand, like, Athena. Like, I know she's not going to in this thing, but why and I'm going to rage about the second women's match. But why not, Hoss, give somebody, instead of having this slop, no disrespect to these two women, why not have somebody that could bring that title something? We haven't seen it on TV in a month, and we're getting it on July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hoss, maybe I might be answering my own question here. Is it because they don't fucking have anybody?
They have people, Chris. I can't say that. They have a
booking, but when booking wise, they don't. Because they've already buried half of the talent that already have, in my opinion, a what's it called? A potential to be something in the company. They've already done Megan Bain fucking dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lana Cross is this up-and-coming girl who's stuck in the shadows of Megan Bain, who even Megan Bain, like I just mentioned, isn't going to elevate anything. You have Athena losing to Maya World in the Owen. You've already buried the top people other than, Mercedes and all the solid mid-carders, and they're all in Ring of Honor.
You're right. I can't argue with you, Chris, on that one. But it's not the talent's fault. It's the booking.
Not at all. Not at all.
Like, and with this, whoever wins the survival of the fittest, it cannot be someone who's already had the belt. So Statlander should not win. Hikaru Shida should not win. Who else?
I think Persephone. I think Persephone's in the thing.
Yes,
right. She's defending her CMLL title this Saturday against I don't know who the fuck, but she should win this, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
You already blew her off in the first round of the Owen from Kakuzi.
I'm with you on that. Like, I would have no problem with Persephone winning, Harley Cameron, or I know we're gonna go to the match after the next match after this, Queen Aminata. I would not be mad if one of those three women win, because they already knocked Mina out. I hate that. I hate that. So
I know you do.
They have to make a star out of this. That's my big thing. Please stop booking yourself into holes, Tony Khan. Make stars. Make people actually want to watch these women on Wednesday and Saturday nights. That's the biggest problem. Stop going to the well where you're going to have women who have multiple title reigns that go nowhere. Like, we don't want to see Statlander as TBS champ again. No. We don't want to see boring Hikaru Shida be TBS champion. So give us a reason to watch these new ladies. Just give us a reason. That's all I ask.
I'd rather have one of the inspirations to have the fucking TBS title over Akira Shida.
I'm trust me. I'm right with you, brother.
I don't. She was a horrible AEW Women's World Champion. We don't need that. Like, I agree with Hoss.
He gave it to her 3 times.
It's fucking ridiculous. He gave it to her before he gave it to Britt.
Who?
Britt.
Who is that?
Britt Baker. Yeah, I know, right? Who?
That person still exists?
I don't know. I have an action figure right here. I don't know what happened to her. It
I,
must.
I,
This must be a custom figure. I
I got
just
a
made up
I
a
got a
random
cavity
person.
that needs to be filled. I need to go see a dentist.
Oh, there
We'll,
you go.
we'll never see her wrestle again, but we can go get some dentistry work done.
Tony Khan, man, you fucked up big time. You fucked up big time. Speaking of you fucking up big time, Hoss Will Ospreay versus LMP, taking on LMP. Um,
Who?
a big. Who the hell is that guy? Will Ospreay took on LMP. Now, I don't like Ospreay, and I'm gonna have the same complaint with Swerve, and I'm gonna rip this next match. But let's stay on this match, right? Because I don't. These matches kind of tie in together, in the sense of Will Ospreay and Swerve having their matches back to back. I don't know why the hell they're having matches against Daniel Garcia's and LMP. But let's stick with the Ospreay and LMP match. I don't like Ospreay having this match against some random New Japan guy that nobody again knows. Maybe Marie will educate me on who the hell this guy is. But you had Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland go out last week on Dynamite and actually have a face-to-face. These guys have so much history with each other going back way before AEW. Now, Swerve did allude to their match at the Forbidden Door 2 years ago at the UBS Arena. Why the fuck couldn't they implicate more of a segment promo storyline into this where they could have said, yo, last year at this time we were teaming up to take down the leaders of this company. What happened? What something? These guys are supposed to be brothers. These guys are supposed to be best friends. And there's no tension between these guys. It's all we know is that these guys are two of the best wrestlers in this fucking company, and they're going to have another match. There's nothing, no heat. There's no emotion, no feeling going into one of the biggest matches this company is going to have this year. And you're having Ospreay go against LMP. This should have been a jobber match. This match went way too long. Way too long. Hoss, am I making sense here on why I don't want to see Ospreay versus whoever the hell this guy is, and I want to see Swerve and Ospreay keep building tension between these friends?
This is where AEW gets too nerdy. I know Excalibur was talking about that El Phantasmo. That's who ELP is. El Phantasmo.
Jesus Christ.
Him and Ospreay have a history. They've wrestled 8 times. Ospreay has won 5 times of the 8.
And you couldn't show us a video clip package on any of them before the match?
See,
just throw these guys out there?
This is where the all elite part comes in, Chris. This is why most of the sickos feel so elitist when you ask them questions about what the fuck is going on. They expect you to know shit that happens in Japan. Newsflash, buddy. We watch other content. The World Cup is on. Other shit is on to watch other than all this fucking wrestling. But that's a different discussion. Yes, they have a series going. I don't care. Will Ospreay, he had a good match. ELP was fine. He's not a bad wrestler. It's still too long. Yeah, match went too long. The angle was no one cares about it because unless you're a New Japan junkie, that's the only reason you care about this. Again, this is where AEW they put too much dip on their chip on this. Like people actually give a damn. So yeah, match is fine. Don't care about the angle, which it wasn't really much of an angle there anyway. That requires AEW fans to actually watch. Didn't really care though. Fine match. Fine.
I agree 100%, man. We bear the most we got, and we're gonna transition into the next match here before we say hi to our partners at Dude Wipes, because Hoss, I'm gonna introduce a quick new little segment here we're gonna start doing on Wednesday nights. And it's not a copy and paste, but it's something simple, something small we're gonna start doing here on Wednesday nights. It's literally only going to take a minute or two of our time, and you'll know why. But let's talk about this. So Ospreay, the match is over. Swerve's music hits. Ospreay's kind of staring at that Owen trophy outside the ring after his match is over. Prince Nana comes out, Swerve comes out, excuse me. He's also starts staring at the trophy. He walks down the ring, camera shot backs out. They're kind of staring at each other. Ospreay goes back to the ring. Daniel Garcia and Swerve Strickland have their match. It was a good match. Again, another long match between Swerve and Daniel Garcia, which again, this match, I didn't want to see it. Garcia kicking out of Swerve's moves, his kick move to the head, his stomp. I hated that, but I didn't mind him winning with the hidden blade because he's kind of taunting Will Ospreay. You know, that's his opponent. Whatever. The match was still a little too long, but it was a good match. Now, Hoss, let me rant for a second.
Go for it.
This is what I was gonna. This is now what I was telling you off air. This is what I'm talking about right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, somebody educate me. Hoss, tell me where I'm not in my pro wrestling mind. Tell me why I don't understand this. So the Death Riders come out every single fucking week as these tough, badass heels, causing matches, yada, yada, yada. You had a opening match with Moxley, Claudio, and Yuta, who played the heels against Brody, King, Bandito, and Mystico, 3 baby faces. Correct? Are you with me, Hoss? Are you with me, chat? All right,
I'm with you.
You had Swerve Strickland versus fucking Daniel Garcia. Swerve Strickland's playing the heel. Daniel Garcia, who was a part of the Death Riders, is playing the babyface. Why? How come after the match, Swerve Strickland attacks Daniel Garcia and Ospreay's coming out for the save and the crowd's cheering, yada, yada, yada? In what world does this make sense when the Death Riders are supposed to be the biggest heel faction other than the Don Callis family in AEW? They literally just came out 45 minutes before this as heels, but now all of a sudden Daniel Garcia is this big baby face that needs saved from Swerve Strickland, and here comes Will Ospreay. Hoss, how does that make any sense?
None of it makes sense. And that's why I always say it every week. AEW logic, brother. AEW logic makes you fucking crazy because all you just said, you were spot on. Why does this team get to be tweeners and they decide what the hell they get to be from night to night? Oh, we're bad tonight. Oh, we're good tonight. We're bad tonight. We're gonna break shit tonight.
And they do it both on the same fucking show. In the beginning, they play themselves as heels, and at the end, they play themselves as babyface. Just because Will Ospreay is involved with you guys doesn't mean you guys are automatically babyfaces. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, like that's why I said last week we should have Will just go full heel and invest and just go straight to heel. But no, Tony Khan doesn't want Will Ospreay booed. Even though these fans wouldn't dare do it any fucking way because they don't want to act. They don't want to play. They don't want to play right the way they should. And Moxley, I don't know what the hell Moxley is. I don't know. I don't understand. I get why you're ranting. It makes
no sense, bro. You portray these guys. You portray these guys as the biggest, baddest heel faction. These guys have been running this company for the last 2 freaking years. This group has held this title hostage from the fan base for over a year. Mm-hmm. And you have one of the members in your group playing babyface while the rest are playing heels, and it's always reverse. That makes this segment, dude, that drove me when I saw Swerve Strickland attack Daniel Garcia and Ospreay for the save. That's one of the only things that really caught my attention because again, this show's fucking boring. And I was watching the World. Again, I'm not a fan of soccer, and I was watching Mexico in the World Cup. So, it is what it is. But that drove me nuts. Oh my God, Hoss, I didn't understand it. This guy comes out as a heel every week, specifically Daniel Garcia. He's the new guy in the group. And you have him go out there as the... What?
This the same group that was choking people out with plastic bags a year ago. The same group.
And Haas, I'm also confused. Is Swerve a fucking heel or a babyface?
Again,
Because for 1 month he's the biggest, baddest, most dangerous man in AEW, choking out Brody King. The next day he's I want MJF for the world title, yada yada, and then he gets with Ospreay and he's playing the heel, mind you. And it's really tough to boo Swerve Strickland when everything he said in his promo last week. And I know we didn't dive too much into it last week because it just we talked about it the most, but it just it didn't connect with me as much as I would have loved it to. But Swerve made a lot of good points in what he said to Will Ospreay last week, where I beat you and I'm in your yada yada yada. You need this yada yada. The reasons why I like it's so hard for me to want to boo Swerve as the heel. So he plays that kind of tweener role, which I guess for him could work better than the Death Riders group, but it still doesn't make sense because when you look at the Death Riders, again, I'm old school. Not old school, but in the terms of I'm old. I'm very young, clearly, but I like a lot of the old school mentality, right? Where I talk about I like my championship matches being main events, yada yada. This is one of the situations where you have heel versus heel. I don't like it.
No.
And then you make somebody look like the baby face when it's clearly not the case. Hoss, it drove me nuts. It drove me nuts.
Again, I gotta say it, AEW logic. Well, people they invest so much into these wrestling matches, the tropes don't matter anymore, and that's why the TV show gets boring because it has no proper formatting. That's the problem. No proper formatting. And let's get back to the angle of this match. Daniel Garcia was basically here to hurt Swerve Strickland going into the Forbidden Door. All the dragging screws and the submissions, attacking the knees and the legs. So they're gonna play that up on Sunday where I believe Will's gonna win by submission. But yeah, that's where we're going that route. But yeah, that's all Daniel Garcia was out there for. Just hurt Swerve as much as you can for an angle going into Sunday. And it did its job. It served its purpose. Did you care to see it? Not really, but it served its purpose.
No, I agree. I agree, chat. So we'll see what happens at the Forbidden Door. Again, we'll preview the match tomorrow. We'll review the match when it happens. But Hoss, it's gonna be a I don't like to. I'm gonna sound like a real mark for 1 second. It's gonna be a fucking 5-star classic. I know that, but again, for me, who knows the history between these guys, who've seen their first match at the Forbidden Door, who watch these guys come together after Hoss, and this is what blows my mind too. Not just the Death Riders thing that blew my mind just because it doesn't make logical professional wrestling sense, but when you have these guys, two of the biggest names in this company, they have a match 2024 where they hate each other. They say some mean things. They say some cruel things. They have a crazy war. And then all of a sudden they have this mutual enemy in Hangman and they come together to take the Bucks. Where's that same emotion? Where is that same brotherhood? Where is that same tension that there was 2024, 2025? Now we're in 2026 where this could be a trilogy. This could be a part 2 or a third year in a row of these guys doing something together, and they're blowing off all the story that they could do. They're blowing off all the history, all the things that could be brought up for good television. That's why I'm so frustrated with this build for this match. These are two of my favorite wrestlers, two of, like you like to say, two of the sickos' favorites. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. And that's my final thing on this segment. Hoss, anything else you got on the segment before we introduce something a little new here?
This is where AEW starts becoming fake UFC because they don't like the
this
violence.
don't got rankings anymore.
Yeah, they don't like the Tony Khan doesn't like to buy into his own lore, like the long term booking, the historical ramifications. He doesn't. He only plays it up when he can remember it from time to time. You should have people that work for you to remember these things. But Tony Khan, he wants to book everything on his own. If he don't think of it at a certain time, it's lost in the ether, and it just becomes a fight. And I'm just tired of just fights. Because again, this is fabricated, people. I'm not gonna use the other F word. It's fabricated. It's scripted. So we need to have reasons why we watch these fights. That's my rant. But yeah, Tony Khan, he doesn't play into the lore, and that's the problem.
I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about the rest of the card here, because this is where the card, in my opinion, gets boring. And I do got one more thing to rant about here. We're gonna do something different here. Before we do, obviously want to give a shout out to everybody here on the network. Want to give a shout out. Go follow everybody. Myself, Hoss, Sports Jedi Media, Canary, Rain, K. Nap, all the smoke sessions, and everybody else here. DWE TV, all the partners, all in the Smokes or Sports Jedi Network. Thank you to our sponsors again. PGH Chris TV again for G Fuel, which is the official sponsor here on Wednesday nights, as well as Dude Wipes and Blackout Coffee, which are the official sponsors of the Sports Jedi Network. Hoss, it's time. We're going to do something a little different. Because as of 5 minutes ago, that there has been a new one announced. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do this thing. We're on Wednesday nights. Since they're so fucking when they start getting entertaining, I'll stop doing this. But this is the torture we're gonna have to suffer. A 1 minute and a half or whatever collision preview.
Okay.
Every time an AEW collision matches get announced on Dynamite only, we're going to talk about them.
Okay.
We got 3 to talk about. Let the clock run now. All right, here we go. Kevin Knight versus Desmond Xavier for the TNT title. Should be a good match on a Saturday. Hoss, what do you think about that one?
Kevin Knight's at war with all the rascals. This may be an angle. It may be interesting. Let's see where it goes.
I agree. I like it. I think it's going to be a cool match. Hoss, so Night of Champions is at what, 2:00?
Yes.
Maybe I'll tune in. Maybe I'll tune in for that one. Second match, we got Persephone defending her CMLL Women's World Title versus Billy Starks.
ROH special. Billy Starks was supposed to be the heir apparent to Athena for the ROH title, and that seems to be going nowhere. So she gets some TV time on Saturday. Good for her.
I mean, again, it's just it's weird what they're doing with Persephone on AEW. I know she has this dual contract that she, is supposed to be on AEW and CMLL, yada yada. It makes no sense to me. I'm gonna be honest.
Side note, that belt is atrocious. Have you seen the belt she's carrying around for
CMLL women's title? Yes.
It's awful. It's awful.
It is fucking ugly.
It looks cheap.
That big CMLL logo in the middle.
It looks cheap.
Hoss announced 5 minutes ago. Chris Jericho versus JD Drake.
Man, is that a lumberjack?
On a Saturday night extravaganza as of 5 minutes ago. Hoss, what do you think about Jericho versus Mr. Drake, Mr. Drizzy, Mr. OVO? I don't know. That's not the real Drake. Whoever the fuck this guy is.
Is that Jericho security guard? I bet you Chris Jericho has no clue who that guy is. Is that a roadie for Fozzy? Is that one of his groupies?
Oh my! It's one of his fucking stage managers, not like the people that work on the stage crews or whatever.
Yeah, is he carrying the guitars and all this? Because who the hell is JD Drake? I have no clue who the fuck that guy is.
Listen, Fozzy was live in I live in Hershey. Harrisburg, our capital, is probably 15 minutes away where the venue was. Probably like 25. And I had a buddy that went to the Fozzy concert. Oh my god, he sent me some videos. Thank God I didn't fucking go. He got to meet Chris Jericho though.
Really?
Briefly.
Okay.
He was walking by, giving the handshakes, and like after the show was over, he was like thanked everybody, walked down, I guess, and he was like shaking hands. They did like a meet and greet, but he didn't stay for that. But he was in the front row. But
Man, what happened to Beef? Beef was on Collision last week. They couldn't bring Beef back.
Beef was, oh my god, that guy's still around.
Yeah, Beef was on Collision last week.
Again, Koss, you're gonna call me a fucking nerd, but this is where I'm on cagematch.net. Because this is I gotta see this. There's no fucking way. Oh my god, he was on Ring of Honor versus with Tony Nese versus Aaron Dallas, Keegan Gartland, and LJ Cleary, which is Lyra Valkyria's fiance.
Oof.
And then he lost to a guy named Aaron Williams.
These men sound like guys that go to your local church. They don't sound like wrestlers. They sound like they work at Sherwin-Williams, like they finna come paint your house. Man, bring back real wrestling names.
Oh my god, he lost to Andre Andretti. Yeah, that dude's fucking garbage.
Is that the guy Action Andre? Is that who that is?
That's the guy that like came on Dynamite and he let Jericho. How do I phrase it? He's that random kid that came on Dynamite the one year, and he was like nobody knew who he was, and the whole crowd got behind him, so Jericho let him go over, and it was supposed to be this whole thing where Action Andretti is supposed to be this new star, yada yada. The crowd was behind him for maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, and he was on fucking Rampage the week later.
He actually has a real wrestling name. He sounds like a rapper. But
he trains locally around here. He's a cool ass dude. He's good, but he's a solid Ring of Honor guy for them. But
I'm telling you, his name.
I don't know if that's a compliment anymore.
It's better than Aaron Williams, Tony Nese.
It's better than fucking Beef.
No, Beef is better than whatever you just said. At least I mean, Beef is funny.
Bro, there is a wrestler in ROH named Cheeseburger. There has to be Beef and Cheeseburger on a tag team.
Man, Beef and Noodles, Beef Tips.
These fucking names are terrible.
Again, better than Aaron Williams.
Speaking of terrible, they did a backstage segment with the Don Callis family and MJF, and it was fucking awful. They presented a T-shirt.
I saw that.
And that was bad.
Very bad.
Anyway, speaking of something really bad, ladies and gentlemen, Zack Sabre Jr. is the worst wrestler, the worst character. He's not the worst wrestler I've ever seen. It's still Orange Cassidy and Eddie Kingston. Let me take that back. He is the most boringest wrestler I've ever seen, not named Johnny Gargano.
Go ahead, Chris.
He had a match with Jungle Boy.
All right.
And all this shit was fucking tension locks, finger locks, or whatever the fuck this was. This was terrible. He had his boys come out, which they were gonna have a match right after, and they did. Hoss, I know you have some things to say about this, but all I gotta say is Zack Sabre Jr. is fucking boring, and I don't want to see him on AEW television after the Forbidden Door in his match with Kenny Omega.
Okay, I will say this: the highlights. He made Jungle Boy look good. I will say that, and I'm not a Jack Perry fan. Not a fan of Jack Perry at all. So Jungle Boy looked good. He made Kenny Omega look good because Kenny Omega actually made me laugh. He said, "Oh, when I beat you on Sunday, we're gonna send you back to Japan just like because no one's gonna remember you like last year." I'm like, "Oh, look at Kenny Omega with a zinger, funny." But yes, Zack Sabre Jr. is boring as shit. I don't give a fuck about seeing abdominal stretches, finger pulling, toe pulling. Oh, man, he pulled my hamstring. Man, that's bad television, brother. Did you hear what he tells Kenny Omega when he walks off? Stay out of the hospital, darling.
Yeah.
The fuck are we talking about? I see why he's a mute. Nobody wants to hear that fucker talk. He is terrible. He wants to look like Guile with the blonde hair. Man, get this bum off my television, bro. After Sunday, I do not want to see Zack Sabre Jr. in the States again. let alone on my television. Leave his ass in Japan. Man, I thought Nigel McGuinness in the Pure Championship was boring. Zack Saber's awful.
Zack Saber is fucking boring, man. And get his boys off TV. And look, his boys had a match. They're called TMDK. That's the name of their group. TMDK. I'm going to find what that fucking stands for.
I know what it means.
What does it mean?
These men don't kneel.
Is that actually what it means?
That's exactly what it means. These men don't kneel. I heard it on Collision last week.
Wow, that is corny. Yeah. Oh, the mighty don't kneel.
Okay, same thing.
That's worse.
Same thing.
That's worse. Yours was better. The men. The mighty don't kneel. That's what
Zack Saber's not mighty. That's
none of these clowns are mighty.
Bad News Tito has physique. I'll give him that. He's a big man. I'll give him that.
Let's talk about it. They had a match between the Bucks. Okay, first off, at this point, I'm screaming to myself, not literally, but in my mind, match after match after match after match after match. Because at this point, we got another thing where it was like, okay, TDMK was already in the ring. Here comes the Bucks. Boom, we're off to the races. But the Bucks had a match with TDMK. It was okay. It was a typical match. The Bucks got their spots but this whole thing was designed for after the match with Kenny Omega, like you pointed out, and Zack Sabre Jr. had a face-to-face. Hoss, you know what caught my eye more than anything? And had nothing to do with the match nothing to do with what Kenny said, like building up to their match, because there wasn't much of that. He said, "I'm coming out for redemption."
Yeah, that's your breadcrumbs. You know what's going to happen next month. Those are your breadcrumbs.
See, my thing is this. Like, I'm sick of AEW, and I don't know how they're going to do it. And I don't know if they're going to do it, if they even think of fucking doing it. But it's like, AEW Double or Nothing went off the air so hot last week. Or last month, excuse me, where, Kevin Knight had that heel turn, and it's like, you want to know what Kevin Knight, you want to watch Dynamite on Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. Why can't they implicate a way where it's Kenny Omega somehow screws MJF and his team and the Don Callis family, because there's history there with Kenny and Don as well, and that family. And Mark Briscoe gets his title match, and then Kenny just declares who he fights at Redemption, which is obviously going to be MJF. Does that make sense? They're not going to do that.
It makes sense. I think Andrade is going to end up fucking the match up, because you see the end of the episode tonight. Andrade and MJF clearly have beef, so if Andrade don't mess it up, he's going to be the one to take the pin, and that's how Mark Briscoe gets his match.
Yeah, that could work as well, because, and I don't mind that's a story within the match. That's a story they're telling in the match, which that's the only way this company really does it. So I don't hate it, but again, to me, it's we know. Again, I don't think MJF really wanted. Like, I think this was a callous thing, so they could play that off on TV, where it's like, I didn't even want him on my team, yada yada yada. He did this on purpose. They've been teasing this for a while, but again, I still don't like heel versus heel. That's why they didn't do this. That's why they had Hangman and Andrade at Grand Slam Australia. That's why they had Hangman win and had that match at Revolution, because it was a good babyface versus heel story. That's kind of why I still don't want to see Andrade versus MJF. Still going to be a good match, but I don't know. If they really want to plant the crumbs and get this shit started early and have Dynamite interests following Forbidden Door, at least somewhat like they did with Double or Nothing, I also wouldn't mind Kenny Omega going out there either.
I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna go, Chris. MJF is gonna have at least 3 title defenses before Redemption. He's gonna go against Mark Briscoe, Kevin Knight, and Andrade. It's gonna be those 3.
I don't want to see him go against Kevin Knight again.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, brother. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just go ahead and fix your mind for it. It's gonna happen on Dynamite.
So boring. Like, how many times are we gonna see? MJF and Kevin Knight, not just MJF and Kevin Knight compete for a world title when he already A, has a TNT title, and B, lost 3 of his last matches, twice to MJF and 1 to Darby Allin.
Darby Allin still owes him ass whooping.
Hoss, I get like this because I feel fucking dumber and dumber every Wednesday night watching this show.
Yeah, AEW logic does it to you. And I believe Kevin Knight's going to lose his belt to Kyle Fletcher, but that's a different discussion. That's in the future. I believe that's going to happen. But yeah, MJF is going to have 3 more title defenses. Then by the time Redemption comes, Hangman's going to come back. He's going to cost MJF, and Kenny Omega's going to go over in Redemption. That's what's going to happen. You can book it because everybody, if you look on the internet, everybody say, "Where's Hangman? Where's Hangman? Is Hangman coming back?" That's where Hangman comes back. He's going to cost MJF the belt and help his boy Kenny Omega get the belt.
I mean, if they want to do that, because in the sense of, okay, you know, I can't win the TNT or I can't win the world title again, so I'll help my friend. Fine, but it's like now you have nothing to play it off. Because Hangman cannot challenge for that title again. What Hangman should have been doing, there's already story there with him and Kevin Knight. Why hasn't him and Kevin Knight, again, this might seem below status for some of the sickos, but bear with me. There's nothing wrong with Hangman Adam Page having a TNT title or challenging for a TNT title. Hell, we just had MJF do it a few months ago. Why, Hoss, speaking of Hangman, because I'm happy you brought him up, why didn't we just get Hangman Page versus Kevin Knight? There's already a story there with Kevin Knight challenging Hangman the same night, or MJF the same night they lost the tag team titles, or something. It was something that night, right? Where Kevin Knight took the pin and they lost the trios tag team titles. Where obviously MJF interfered, but it was Kevin. Like, there's so much things they could play with that, and instead we haven't seen Hangman in forever, which it makes sense for him to take the break after Revolution, but there's no need for him to get back in the mix between MJF and Kenny when there's something he could do there. He cannot challenge for a world title anymore. There's no point.
Chris, I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna happen.
I don't like when you start off saying that, because it's usually something that's just like, it's so boring.
I know, but that's where we are these days. But Tony Khan doesn't remember that Kevin Knight day. He doesn't remember that. He doesn't remember that trios tag title.
I do.
You do. Tony Khan doesn't. Somebody's got to go remind him of that. Tell him on X. He might remember it then. But no,
he'll block me and won't give me fucking credentials.
You already don't have them anyway. Might as well try.
I might as Will Washington was already in giving them to me anyway. So,
well, but I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna when Kenny wins the title in Redemption, they're gonna play up this God of pro wrestling shit again. The devil. He condemned Hangman from not challenging for the belt. Well, the God of pro wrestling is gonna grant a wish. He's gonna give him a prayer, and yeah, Hangman gets to go against Omega for the belt. I know, it's terrible, but doesn't that sound like something Tony Khan would fucking do?
It's exactly what Tony Khan's gonna do.
The God of pro wrestling is gonna give us a blessing.
He's gonna be the God of booking pro wrestling.
Yeah, he's gonna give Hangman a blessing.
Aye. Hoss. Let's talk about something that wasn't a blessing. This is what I also want to rant about. Now, I want to be very careful because I love me some Red Velvet.
The cake or the person?
Both.
Good man. Man of culture and taste.
Red Velvet's awesome. Queen Amidala has potential. Both beautiful women. This is no disrespect to them. This is disrespect towards the booker. Why in the blue hell are we having Red Velvet versus Queen Amidala not only on a Dynamite, on a Dynamite that's supposed to be a go-home show for Forbidden Door, and we are having a Ring of Honor match All because one of these two women are qualifying for that janky-ass TBS title gauntlet, whatever the hell they're doing. A, none of these women should be competing for the title. B, if you wanted to have this match, Saturday. You know, Elton John wrote a song about a fucking great day. That's when you should have done it. This was way too long. Queen Amidala has the sloppiest kickouts I've ever seen in my life in this entire business. I've never seen kickouts as sloppy as I saw from Queen Amidala. There was a spot where Red Velvet, I think, clotheslined Queen Amidala into the, like on the ground, but her head is like sitting on the bottom rope, and it just looked like they didn't know what they were doing with one another. This is a match that did not need to happen. And I feel bad for both of these women because Kev talks about, and he's right, the 920 spot. Now, let's talk about a positive. We got 2 women's matches on the card tonight. If you like women's wrestling and you think AEW women's wrestling should be better and put on TV, you got it. The problem is it wasn't good. I'd rather have no women's wrestling than bad women's wrestling because it makes them look bad. And in this case, I don't even blame it on them. I blame it on Tony. Why are you putting these girls out there? The 7th match of the night before the main event. That is the worst spot for these ladies to go. I haven't had a Dynamite fill me up this much fire in me. I don't know if it's because I drank a Coke before we went live and the caffeine's kicking in. But it's like, what the hell? Hoss, am I wrong? Again, this is no disrespect towards the Red Velvet. I love me some Red Velvet, and I think Queen Amidala's I think when I mean phenomenal, I mean she has a good look. She's very good looking. I know I just called her out on her sloppy kickouts, but that's because she doesn't have the right training behind her. Hoss, am I wrong for saying anything of what I just said?
You're not. I mean, it's a fair critique. I mean, I saw good portions of the match. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's fine. Red Velvet, they played it up that she was the one that gave everybody a chance for this belt because she was the last person Willow wrestled before she got hurt. They played that up. Queen Amidala, she's coming back from injury. They say she missed 180 some days, so she might still have some ring rust there.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
So with the kickouts, that's a fair critique though. I mean, we watch these things for stuff like that, so I understand. But I'm not mad at either one of these people being in this position because I'm all for making new stars. I hate it for Red Velvet because she's with the Athena. He's not going to call either one of them up. It's just not going to happen.
That's another problem I have why these women are on this spot in the card. I have no problem with seeing them, but again, this is the wrong time, I think, because you're having this is a go-home show to a pay-per-view. Again, call me a weird wrestling mind. If I have the pencil to any wrestling company and I have a pay-per-view, I'm making sure that my go-home show is all about what's happening at the pay-per-view. We saw nothing with Tekla. Like, I'm having all of these all of my matches. I'm not going to have all of them on a match, or I'm not going to have nobody not on the card. I'll have them in a match against somebody on the card, but I would implicate a story. My thing is I would make my go-home shows a lot more story-based going into the pay-per-view. This has nothing to do with that. They're not even on the card. None of them.
Chris, let me tell you this. Tony Khan cares so much about his women's division that the Divine Dominion is on the buy-in of Vendor.
That is atrocious.
They're the only match in the buy-in right now. The only match. These are your women's tag team champions. They were on the buy-in to Double or Nothing last month.
Yep.
A 5-minute challenge match. They can't even get on the regular card.
Oh my God, they are on the only card on the match on the buy-in. Holy shit.
They're champions and can't get on the card.
Again, Hoss, I don't mean to go too ahead. We're going to preview all this tomorrow. How come we had Mystico in a 6-man tag we have Mystico in the Bucks, right? There's a 3-way tag team match.
Yes.
Why is Mystico playing with Death Riders, and why is the Bucks playing with Zack Sabre Jr.'s group when they're not going with each other at Forbidden Door?
The bigger question: where the fuck is Gabe Kidd? He was at Dominion
He's
like a
not gonna
week
be.
ago.
Yeah, I have no idea. He's not here. We're instead we're getting Pac versus Unamo.
Yes, I don't. I
Like
I
again,
don't even know how to respond to that. I don't even know how to respond to that.
you have until 2 p.m. tomorrow to respond to that.
I don't.
To think of an answer.
Marie.
Right. Yep. That guys, Marie Shadows is going to help us a lot tomorrow. Because then I fell off with the product after the second Forbidden Door. But Hoss, anything else about the Queen Amidala spot before we wrap up the show here and talk about the main event?
I hope she has a fair shot to win next week, but
So
I
do I.
doubt it. I hope she has a fair shot though.
So do I. I hope she does, but I doubt it. Let's be honest, that should have been on Collision. But that's just me. Let's move on to the main event. The main event match, which I thought was good. I thought it was fine. You know, they had a good main event here for the international again, Hoss, this is where these mid-card titles are coming, and we just talked about them, right? Continental, national. The international title is defended here to get the champion Takeshita against Ricochet. It was a good match. I enjoyed the main event. Takeshita looks great. Still, Ricochet got his spots in. There's a lot of commercial picture-in-picture breaks with this main event. Again, this is where I liked it, but again, I just got 2 hours and no, at this point, maybe an hour and 47 minutes of straight up good wrestling matches. What's so special about this main event? I know that, and I know, and the sad part is, Hoss, this match is better. I know on paper it's better than all of them, but I just got drenched with good wrestling matches. After the match, Mark Briscoe speaks. They had their little brouhaha. Hoss, I'm gonna let you take the floor with this one because you know how I feel about these brawls in this company. They already gave us the match last week, and they're continuing to do this. Before I go on another scream here, take it away.
The brawls are overdone. I didn't care about it at all. I mean, Mark Briscoe, again, overexposed on the mic. It went too long. You should get no more than 2.5 minutes of Mark Briscoe. If it goes any longer than that, it's going off the rails. And this comes from Mark Briscoe fan. He shouldn't be talking that long. But the match, Takeshita and Ricochet, fine match, very good match. I'm tired of Ricochet being the jobber to the stars. That's what he is, and that's what Tony Khan has made him. Because I said this before, push Ricochet into the main event, give him a shot. And I know that means we got to have more promos of Ricochet. Trust me, we hear bad promos every week from guys that are better than him. I'll stomach it. I'll stomach it. If he's gonna, because he doesn't give bad matches, I would give him that. If we're gonna watch All Elite Wrestling, give him a shot to be in the main event. No more this national championship, no more international championship. Crown him. Show some love in his intro for Ricochet. So yeah, the brawl though, I had nothing for the brawl. Absolutely nothing. Mark Briscoe gave MJF a J Driller. Andrade held up Briscoe. He got hit with the diamond ring. Again, another overdone brawl that goes nowhere. Fuck it.
That's the story of this show. Is fuck it. That's the motto here. That's what I'm just gonna start. You know, I think AEW should trademark that. I should give him the idea. AEW Dynamite. Fuck it. Because that's all this thing. That's all, you know, that's Tony's mentality is, you know, fuck it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Hoss. Final thoughts here on AEW Dynamite tonight. Again, the show continues to, I don't want to say be an unenjoyable watch because again, the matches are good. They have some good people on TV, but when you have a go home show like this, that nothing had anything to do with the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. There's just no real story, no real interest. Nothing's there right now with AEW. They're gonna have a good pay-per-view, meaning the production's gonna look good and the matches are gonna feel meaningful. But Hoss, what's gonna come next Wednesday? They're not gonna follow up on a single damn thing.
Exactly.
So this show needs to be better. It is disappointing every single week. We sound like broken records. The best thing I can say is we haven't seen this clown on TV in a while. And who knows, maybe he pops up there anyway.
They wrote him off TV. What was that, last week or 2 weeks ago?
Right, good. Write him off and don't put his name back in.
He got attacked by the Don Callis family. Yeah, they wrote him off.
Oh God, of course he got attacked. I'm surprised he got. It was either them or the Death Riders. Not surprised. Not surprised.
They wrote off Big Tom because he was the biggest threat to be on the team of Briscoe. Everybody was scared of Ishii.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they didn't want to see this big guy pop out. That theme music hit. That's Eddie Kingston's idol.
Yeah, Mr. Bad Back, all about 5'8" of him.
The thing is, I know I'm gonna bring it up to Marie tomorrow because I guess Ishii used to be some type of deal. I guess AEW's ruined him in some type of way, which he just looks like some Japanese grandpa to me.
Sir, I saw the Observer one day, not the mag. I was watching this show on YouTube. Dave Meltzer went on a whole dialogue about Ishii when 5-star matches, and I turned that shit off immediately because I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, what the fuck is Dave rambling about? This guy with the bad back at 5-star matches. This is why I know this rating system sucks. Kurt Angle ain't got 5-star matches, but Ishii got them.
Dude, I can't. Again, I still can't believe that the older generation allowed this man to dictate star rating. That they let one single person, Hoss, dictate on what 5-star classics are. And Dave's never been the biggest pro WWF, WWE guy. He's always liked everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's Dave. Uncle Dave needs a nap. He's getting too old. He got papers all over his fucking room.
He's a very old, ornery man.
He's the original IWC, people that we like to make fun of.
Where's his wife? He needs to see his wife more.
I
don't know if he's married or not. I don't
think he has time. I don't think Mr. Meltzer has time. He needs to get those pro wrestling scoops in, bro. He got Alvarez.
Man, boy, Alvarez is getting cooked because he says AEW and WWE has nothing you can sink your teeth into, and the sickos attacked him viciously.
Before we say goodnight, I'm gonna be honest, Hoss. When I listen to Brian Alvarez, I think to myself, how the fuck does he work with Dave? Like, he's like, Dave, this shit sucks. This makes no sense. Oh no, but this is why. No, like, it's so funny. And bro, you gotta listen to. Do you listen to Cornette react to those?
Yes,
they play the audio, and him and Brian Last just crack me up.
Yes, even though Cornette blocked me, I still do view his content.
Was it political?
Yes, because a little short story. He was talking about CM Punk. He was talking about how TKO can't silence his message. I said, Jim, CM Punk is a capitalist. He's with the code of capitalism, Jim. He will dance when told to dance. And Jim blocked me.
I forget why he blocked me. It was something about he went off on I forget, it was like Mick Foley, or like it was The Undertaker when he endorsed Trump or something. And whatever, I was like, hey, Jim, I want, like, whatever, with something with the, like, just keep it with the wrestling, yada yada. Like, your said something about like your blood pressure is so high over nothing or something like that. He got pissed. But yeah, shout out to Jim Cornette. Shout out to Jim Cornette.
Who would
Podcast.
have thought such a great wrestling mind would be so snowflakey? Who would have thought it? Who would have thought?
It's his old lady. It is his old lady. But Hoss, any final words on AEW Dynamite before we say goodnight and see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. for our preview for Forbidden Door?
Elite wrestling, bad television.
Elite wrestling.
Bad television. That's the best way I can put it. Elite wrestling, bad television.
There you go. The wise words from my guy, Hoss Knucklebrew, here on a Wednesday night. We are going to say goodnight here on the Sports Jedi Network. Thank you guys again for checking us out. Again, don't forget tomorrow afternoon, myself, Hoss Knucklebrew, Marie Shadows from Square Circle Podcast will be live going to preview Forbidden Door this weekend. This weekend, we got a lot of wrestling. Stay tuned. Make sure you guys check out our recent interviews. AJ Francis, Hoss, and AJ Francis and Kev, they did their interview today or earlier yesterday. It was very good. That aired today. Make sure you guys go check that out. Famous Davis, Smoke Sessions, DWE TV. Make sure you guys go check them out. Thank you to all of our partners, sponsors. Hoss, thank you, my guy, again. We will see you guys not just next week. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.